Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here and a happy new year to everyone. What is Queer Duck?
Queer Duck is a comedy cartoon series created by Simpsons writer Mike Reiss. Each episode was 3 minutes long and followed the fabulous adventures of a Jewish homosexual duck. It's a charming little show that I kind of like. It was actually placed at 94 on Channel 4's 100 Greatest Cartoons. That's how I found out about it.
In 2006, Queer Duck got his own movie. You know what? I just had a thought. I know the perfect person to help me out with this review. He's a YouTuber from the LGBT community. He's ideal.
Hello?
Hello, FoulFangedFiend.
Who is this?
What do you mean? It's me, Jambareeqi. We met at Alcon a few years ago. Don't you remember me, FoulFang?
No. Oh, I know you. Aren't you the guy who did that really cool music video of the moving floor?
That's Jambareeqi. They're a funky jazz band. I'm Jambareeqi. I'm an internet reviewer. People keep making this mistake. Look, I'm doing a review of Queer Duck the movie. Do you want to help me out?
No thanks. On the other hand, I would do a crossover with you if you were the magic floor moving guy in the silly hat.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Bye then.
Wait, no! Screw him then. I'll just do it on my own. Now, I'm known for having a controversial opinion on TV adaptations, but let me explain.
Of course, TV adaptations are usually aimed at fans of the original TV show, but they are also moving into the medium of film, which means an expanded audience and a different way of telling a story. So, a TV adaptation has to walk the fine line between being faithful to its fans and entertaining an entire movie viewing audience. Not everyone is going to be fully acquainted with every single episode of the TV show. It's pretty inconsiderate and unfair to assume otherwise. This is why I believe that it's an inherently bad idea for a TV adaptation to cater towards just its die-hard fans. This kind of fan service runs the risk of ruining a film as a whole while also alienating the average Joe. If a movie's narrative and dramatic weight depends on the audience's knowledge or emotional connection with something outside its context, then the film fails as a straightforward and strong story. In order for a movie story to be considered good, it has to work as a whole. It must feel complete and everything needs to click together. A TV adaptation that skips over key information required to be drawn into its narrative is the equivalent of ripping out a bunch of pages from a book, then expecting it to be able to tell a coherent and well-written story. In my opinion, the best TV adaptations compromise things. They manage to work as a straightforward cinematic movie, while also staying faithful to its characters and universe, thus pleasing both fans and average moviegoers at the same time.
With that being said, I'm going to keep this in mind when reviewing Queer Duck the movie.
Queer Duck the movie is a flash animated comedy. Queer Duck is starting to become fed up of how the world treats him for being a homosexual, so he keeps wishing that there was a way to live a straight life. One day he meets an eccentric old singer called Lola, who proposes to him and suggests the help of a bigoted reverend to force him into becoming a heterosexual. Will the reverend succeed, and how will this affect Queer Duck's relationship to his boyfriend openly Gator?
So, will this movie satisfy Queer Duck fans? Well, it's got the same sense of humour, the same characters and the same animation style, but the movie ignores a lot of events that happened in the cartoon series, as if they never happened at all.
So Queer Duck fans might find this movie to be too unfaithful. But there are still similarities to the TV show, so it depends on what you're looking for as a fan.
Does this movie manage to tell a story all on its own? The answer is yes it does. You don't have to be a die-hard Queer Duck fan to understand what the hell is going on. Anyone at all can follow it, whether you're in the fanbase or outside the fanbase. It's that straightforward. But it's not a very good story. It's messy, uneventful, underwhelming, unimpressive, and all over the place. The problem with the narrative is that it either gets easily distracted or it finds a shameless excuse to throw a pointless musical number. To make things worse, the movie resolves its main plot halfway through the film. So the rest of the movie is pretty much padding. It makes stuff up as it goes along just so it can reach the 70-minute mark. However, despite lacking in the story department, this movie is actually very funny sometimes. Its sense of humour is cheeky, silly and immature. If you like implied sex jokes and celebrity satire, then this movie's comedy is totally your cup of tea. On the other hand, I will admit that this movie gets less funny as it goes along. At the start, I laughed out loud consistently. In the middle, I chortled mildly now and again, then towards the end, I barely made a giggle. Queerduck is very mischievous. I really like him because he's so cheeky, audacious and brash. He has a lot of personality and energy to him. He also has a lot of fun teasing people, and you know what? This is what makes him so entertaining to watch. To better describe him, imagine Daffy Duck meets Roger the Alien. Lola Buzzard, or Lola Buzzard as she likes to be called, is a very saucy diva who's always up for a laugh. She has the same sort of qualities as Queerduck. Openly Gator is a bit of a drama queen. To be honest, I think he's quite cute. He's so emotional, heartfelt and sensitive that it's hard not to feel for him. The Reverend is pretty much an over-the-top spoof of conservative religious bigots. He's homophobic, spiteful, egotistical, preachy and pompous. He's a perfect villain for a film called Queerduck. There's no other way I can put this. The animation for this film is terrible. I mean, you've seen the clips. It's so awful. It's lazy, tacky, and crude. There's no sense of emotion, timing, weight, physics, or anything else required for good animation. It's like most of the movie was scribbled on Flash under a minute. You would think that the makers of Queerduck would amp things up now that they're doing a big movie production, but no! No, they don't! Jim J. Bullock voices Queerduck, and he is wonderfully camp in the role. He's so cheerful, joyful, and merry.
Hello, my darling Gator. I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I just want you to know I'm here, I'm queer, and I want you back, dear. And your wonderful rear.
Jackie Hoffman voices Lola Buzzard. She captures the accent and charisma of a Broadway star with so much glamorous energy.
Do you think you could still love someone like me?
Well, sure. I mean, you do have a mustache.
Yeah, but I still need a beard. Ha!
Kevin Michael Richardson voices Openly Gator, and he sounds delightfully sweet and sensitive.
Hi, it's Gator. I hate to bother you, but I didn't know who else to call.
Jeff Bennett voices the Reverend. He's pretty much doing his Johnny Bravo voice, and you know what? That's ideal. It's perfect for the character. He sounds so smug and arrogant.
Are you ready to find out? It's a simple procedure I have developed to turn you straight.
The music score for this film clearly wants to sound really show-tuney, but the problem is that it doesn't capture the glitz and glamour of Broadway because it sounds like it was performed by one guy on a Yamaha keyboard. Because the music doesn't sound like it's coming from a bombastic, loud orchestra, it doesn't achieve what it's trying to achieve. Now, this movie does have a lot of musical numbers. It's always trying to find an excuse to throw one. These songs are catchy, lively and high-spirited, but the problem is that they're pointless. Really, really pointless. You can tell that these musical numbers are only there to help the film get to the 70-minute mark. When your musical numbers are there for padding, you know that you're scraping at the barrel. To conclude, Queerduck the movie isn't the worst thing I've seen. Sure, it has a rubbish narrative, bad animation, and lots of forced songs, but it's got a charm to it. It's got likeable characters, an outstanding voice cast, and the first half is kind of funny. It's not terrible, but it's also not that good either. Queerduck fans will love it if they can look past the idea that it's not that faithful to the original TV show. Others will have mixed reactions depending on your sense of humour and tolerance towards crappy Flash animation.
I'm going to give this film 2.5 rainbow strawberries out of 5. If you enjoyed such titles as Will and Grace or Bruno, then you'll definitely get something out of this film.
I've been Jambareeqi and I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, then let me know by clicking the like button below. In the next episode, I'm going to review Children Who Chase Lost Voices. Cheerio, folks.